It's a real joy to be with you on this Tuesday of the Word of Encouragement. And today I'd like to go to the last chapter of 1 Peter chapter 5. And here we have a fairly well-known verse, but one that is good for us to be reminded of on a regular basis. And that is verse 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time. It's a great blessing to know that our life is counting. The drive that is in a lot of people throughout life is to try to do something that is important, or do something that will get acclaim, or try to prove themselves by doing something substantial. And to some degree, that's important, that we have a drive to make something of our lives. But as believers, we need to realize that we are not in the business of promoting ourselves. We're in the business of following the Lord and accomplishing his purpose. And our great fulfillment ought to be in the fact that the Lord is pleased and he is lifted up, and we are not the one that is seen as the great achiever, and we are not trying to satisfy our own need for approval through that. And that's a big battle. And one of the keys is to humble ourselves under the mighty hand of God, and to realize if we're going to have purpose and if we're going to have results that are going to last, it's got to be all God. And so if we're truly dependent upon him, and we humble ourselves and are willing to do what he tells us to do, and not to be looking to ourselves, fully resting in who he is, then he will exalt us. And he will do whatever he wants. And in the midst of his accomplishing his will, we can have a right standing with people. Our testimony can be strong. God can give us leadership in our families, in the church. He can give us opportunities that we would never dream of, and cause us to be able to accomplish that which really matters. It really gets down to the fact, either you exalt yourself or let him exalt you. And they're two polar opposites. And many times in churches and in many places that are supposedly Christian, you find people working hard, but they have a deep desire to promote themselves and to be something. And that all crashes and burns. That's where problems come in ministries. That's where issues come that divide the congregation or divide a ministry. And that's tragic. But when people are truly humbly walking with God, it's amazing what God does. And everybody knows it's God. It's spiritual gifting. It is God's hand upon a life that could never have accomplished what is accomplished. And so we need to understand that that humility, just understanding who we are with Christ, is the key for our life to really be what it ought to be.